It seems the tug of war between the Democratic Alliance and Patricia de Lille is far from over. The DA has been found guilty of violating the IEC's Code of Conduct. This was spreading false information to voters about de Lille via its telescripts, stating that she was fired from the party. The DA has now been ordered to issue a public apology. I'm now joined by the DA's representative at the IEC, Mike Moriarty. Mike, very good afternoon to you. Thank you for coming in. So the IEC says you lied about Patricia de Lille. One of the things we're hearing you have to do is apologize. Firstly, why did you lie, and will you apologize?
Well, firstly, we disagree that we lied. The fact of the matter is that although we take note of their decision in this matter, we regard that this is challengeable. It's also inconsistent, and it is incorrect in terms of an Nkandla SMS judgment that was brought at the Constitutional Court. So we think that it's challengeable. We're seeking legal advice in this regard, and no doubt you'll hear from us in this regard in a few days' time.
This is all to do with a message that your canvassers were apparently given to read out when prospective voters would ask questions about your actions over the de Lille matter. What exactly did you instruct them to say? What was written down for them?
No, it was a response in respect of a thing that we get commonly, a question as why did we fire de Lille? And that's the question that is put to us by voters, not us to voters. But I really want to put to you that the IEC is being inconsistent. If you note the speed in which they've dealt with this matter and the fact that it's incorrect with respect to other judgments, in similar complaints, for example, the complaint we lodged against the ANC and Ibrahim Rasool in respect of an outrageous allegation of us benefiting from water contracts in Cape Town. There they used the same judgment to say that we were wrong, and they dismissed our complaint. Similarly, the matter of the Alex shutdown and the violence and intimidation that is very serious there and is seriously violating the Code of Conduct, they are not acting.
So we could talk about your issues with the ANC in Alexandra and in the Western Cape, but I want to read here what you are said to have said about Patricia de Lille, and I quote, "We fired Patricia de Lille because she was involved in all sorts of wrongdoing in the city of Cape Town. The DA does not allow corruption and will take action against anyone, even our own members." Is that an accurate description or summary of what you said? Is that it? Is that quote correct?
Well, we stand by our script because the
No, I'm asking you quite directly. Is that the exact wording?
I'm saying exactly that we stand by our script. The fact of the matter is that these are documented in Auditor General's reports and other reports. But the real problem that we have is the inconsistency of the IEC.
We're almost out of time. I want to come to this because when Patricia de Lille left your party, when she did that briefing with the DA, the impression you guys gave was that she had indeed resigned after some sort of negotiation with the DA leadership, right?
The fact of the matter is
No. That was what you had said officially when she left the party, was it not? That Patricia de Lille was now resigning after negotiations.
She wanted to leave. So it's a mutually agreed party.
Did you fire her, or did she leave as a result of negotiations that ended in her resigning?
We instituted an action against her, and we parted company mutually.
Parting company mutually and her being fired aren't quite the same thing, though.
That's a matter for the court to decide. We are quite happy to argue this matter. But our real problem is the inconsistency of the IEC, because they've dealt with this matter in a way that is favourable to Ms. de Lille, but all of our other complaints, very serious complaints, including vote buying. I mean, you saw what happened with Ace Magashule on the weekend.
We'll talk about that, but just on what we are discussing today, I'm told that Patricia de Lille, the leader of Good and your former mayor in Cape Town, is now on the line for us. Afternoon to you, Patricia de Lille. So I've got with me here the DA's Mike Moriarty. He says the IEC's got it wrong. The DA did not lie about you being fired. Your response?
Well, I would like to say to Mike that he is indeed a liar himself. Secondly, that we are now in an election period, and the leader of the DA, Musi Mamani, has signed the Code of Conduct of the IEC applicable to all political parties. He also made a speech confirming that. The DA has been found guilty in terms of the same rules that they have violated, that they committed themselves to. So I think it is very, very hypocritical to now blame the IEC. The DA is just too arrogant to rise above this and say and admit that we violated the code of conduct. Yes, they can go to court, but the fact of the matter is that they violated the code of conduct. I'm very grateful for the IEC that has concluded its investigation, and the DA had an opportunity as part of the investigation also to respond, because the DA has issued this script to their telemarketing, spreading lies about me all over the country. But this is nothing new. I spent much of the past 2 years defending myself from the scandalous and false lies spread about me by the DA.
Allow me to come in here, Patricia de Lille, because we are pressed for time. Forgive me for cutting you off. We are pressed for time, but I want to ask you, because Mike Moriarty insists that, as you're saying, that they did not lie. He says you left by mutual agreement, yet you were fired. What was agreed by yourself and the DA leadership when we finally saw that announcement that you would be leaving not only as Cape Town mayor, but as a member of the DA?
Mike Moriarty is lying. I will advise him to go and read the court papers. I took the DA to court to produce the evidence against me. Under oath, in an affidavit signed by James South in court, the DA admitted that they cannot give me any evidence. And then the court instructed them that they must give the evidence, which they failed to do. And it's after that, after the court case, that the DA then decided that we must go ahead with the disciplinary hearing. 2 days later, they then decided no, they don't want to go ahead with the disciplinary hearing. They have withdrawn the charges. So how could I have been found guilty and fired on the basis of what? Are they running a kangaroo court in the DA? Because the court found that the DA did not respect their own constitution and the constitution of the country while they claim to be constitutionalists.
So on your account then, let me put this question to you, Mike Moriarty. On Patricia de Lille's account, a court found that you had not at least presented evidence to prove that she was guilty of wrongdoing. So why are you lying, saying that you fired her, and in the same breath in your statement saying that this is, of course, to do with how you as the DA do not allow corruption?
We deny that we are lying. We are happy to go to court, and we're happy to produce what we believe is the basis for us calling upon Ms. de Lille to leave. We did not want her to be part of our government anymore. That is tantamount to firing. But my real problem here is that this has gone through with great speed, with serious allegations against the ANC.
You keep taking us back to the ANC, Mike Moriarty, and I'm speaking to you about you and Patricia de Lille, and I don't mean to speak over you, forgive me, but I must ask you this. If Patricia de Lille, who was your mayor in Cape Town for all these years, is indeed guilty of corruption and maladministration and that sort of thing, where is your case number? Why have you not reported her to police so she can be prosecuted in a country that's dealing with as serious a corruption problem as we are?
Charges were indeed laid.
And where's the progress on that case?
Well, we'll have to ask the SAPS.
Why have you not checked up on that if you're going to say she's corrupt?
It's been done by my colleagues.
And what is the update?
Well, you know how things go in this country with the SAPS.
So if this goes to court and a court says you have indeed lied, what are you going to do?
Well, we'll abide by the outcome of the court, but it's the court that must decide. We think in this case the IEC has misplaced itself and has actually behaved inconsistently, inappropriately, and it really needs to take cognizant of serious complaints that we've made against the ANC and other parties.
Patricia de Lille, let me give you the final bite here. Mike Moriarty insists again that they've not lied. A case has been reported to police against you. Have you heard from police, and are you confident that once the dust is settled, that you will come out on the other end, proven through a legal process to not have been a corrupt mayor in Cape Town?
I have been to 3 court cases. The last court case was presided over by a full bench of 3 judges. It is a shame how the DA claim to be constitutionalist. They don't respect the judiciary. They don't respect Chapter 9 institutions. They always want to blame everyone else but themselves. The IEC has given them 3 days in which to publicly apologize to me. And I expect the DA to be calling each and every individual they previously called with misinformation to apologize to those individuals for lying to them. I also expect the DA to publish its apology in the mass media. You know, they can go to court. I will see them in court, but I can warn them now, don't waste money. You will lose again in court because you are all a bunch of liars.
All right, good leader, Patricia de Lille, former Cape Town mayor and member of the DA. Thank you. Mike Moriarty from the Democratic Alliance, thank you for your time. We'll no doubt be following this story in the coming weeks.